Texas has banned more books from school libraries this past year than any other state in the nation, just like we have a higher rape count than any other state in the nation. We're the biggest state in the nation, I'm pretty sure, next to Alaska. We got a lot of stuff happening in this state. It's a little much, for how hot it is. Race, racism, abortion, and LGBTQ representation and issues, according to new analysis by PAN America, a nonprofit organization advocating for free speech. These are not issues you want to feel insecure about. If you feel insecure about them, it is not people making you feel that way for some artificial reason. You are probably you're probably like racist or homophobic or both, dude. Administrators in Texas have banned 801 books across 22 school districts, and 174 titles were banned at least twice between July 2021 through June 2022. PEN America defines a ban as any action taken against a book based on its content after challenges from parents or lawmakers. The most frequent books removed included Genderqueer, a memoir by Maya Kobabe, Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, Roe v. Wade, A Woman's Choice, God forbid, by Susan Dudley Gold, Out of Darkness by Ashley Hope Perez, which follows a love story between a Mexican-American teenage girl and a black teen boy. Oh, so interracial shit is too much for Texan Republicans now, too. Jesus fucking, some of these people go to your AA and NA meetings. That's sad. Or just sitting around, like, hearing people share, like, yeah. I don't know. This censorious movement is turning our public schools into political battlegrounds, driving wedges within communities, forcing teachers and librarians from their jobs, and casting a chill over the spirit of open inquiry and intellectual freedom that underpin a flourishing democracy. Susan Nussel, PEN America's chief executive officer, said in a statement. Across the country, PEN America found that 1,648 unique titles had been banned by schools. Of these titles, 41% address LGBTQ themes or have protagonists of prominent secondary characters who are LGBTQ. Another 40% of these books contains protagonists or prominent secondary characters of color. It can't even be a prominent secondary character. Like, that's too much for theocrats to acknowledge because, monotheistic theocrats are not here to negotiate with you. They're not here to live in a fair functioning democracy. They're not here to find common ground. Pagans fucked up a long time ago by letting monotheism into its society, okay? Because it's literally one of their biggest commandments to not tolerate other people. What's notable about these book bans is that most are on books that families and children can elect to read, not any required reading. None of it is required reading. Florida and Pennsylvania followed Texas as the states with the most bans, respectively. Florida banned 566 books, and 457 titles were banned in Pennsylvania, where a majority of books were removed from one school district in York County, which is known as being more conservative. Lopez said her organization could not recall a previous year with as many reported book bans. This rapidly accelerating movement has resulted in more and more students losing access to literature that equips them to meet the challenges and complexities of democratic citizenship. Jonathan Friedman, director of PEN America's Free Expression and Education programs and the lead author of the report, said in a statement, Texas's book challenges can be traced to last October. This one move spurred parents to challenge and successfully remove books they believe are not appropriate and pornographic. Apparently, these 801 books, they should be racking up them Pornhub views. Like they should be. This is some hot fucking material. Pornographic. Y'all will just say anything. This recent series of book bans has unfolded against the backdrop of a national debate over critical race theory, that thing that y'all would hear about and still don't know because, God forbid, you look something up yourself or have it explained to you, not by somebody who thinks that the vaccine contains nanobots. Okay? Oh my God. Critical race theory, a college-level academic discipline that examines how racism is embedded in the country's legal and structural systems. That is it. That's it. But that's too much for Republican Texans. It is not taught in Texas public schools. However, some conservative politicians and parents have assigned the term CRT to dismiss efforts in public schools to incorporate a more comprehensive and inclusive public school curriculum, something they equate to indoctrination. Hey, okay, so if I'm something that you're stumbling upon and you happen to be a bored teenager that you can use your phone right now in class. Nobody's really doing anything at the moment, and you stumble on me. Well, I'm honored, okay? And also, some of your parents think that, well, for one, they think that they're sending you to school to be indoctrinated by inverse Nazis and pole dancing with trans strippers, and yet they continue to bring you to school. So what is that? That says more about them than it says about the school, if anything. But okay. However, some gets behind to turn CRT to dismiss efforts in public schools to incorporate a more comprehensive and inclusive public school curriculum, something they equate to indoctrination. How indoctrinated do you feel? Hey, you, heterosexual teenager watching this. Are you gay yet? Bruh, you are now a trans person. No? Okay. And rank or over social studies teachings to help bring rally support and attracted unprecedented money to win school board seats, campaigning under the promise to clear out critical race theory and pornographic materials from schools. A reading project, okay, on the life of Sasha Grey. Like, what the fuck? So stupid. I can't. In the midst of continuing Republican-led political fights over how issues related to race, gender, and sex are allowed to be taught in public schools, Governor Greg Abbott has put a promise to increase parental rights at the center of his re-election platform. Because parents definitely understand what's going on in school, right? Right? Isn't that right, you? However, Texas parents already have the right to remove their child temporarily from a class or activity that conflicts with their stupid religious beliefs. They have the right to review all instructional materials, and state law guarantees them access to their students' records and to a school principal or administrator. Also, school boards must establish a way to consider complaints from parents. PEN America's analysis. Gee, you think there's going to be, we're going to get a little bit of backlash before teaching, our students a gag reflex? Like, what the fuck is this? PEN America's analysis also found that these bans have been largely driven by organized groups formed over the last year to combat pornographic and CRT materials in school, which, okay, let me let you in on something real quick. Republicans in the mid-2010s were pretty easy to make fun of for a while, okay? So much history had happened that you could easily just call a Republican racist, sexist, homophobic. And it got to a point that people would start to believe it without question. And they got pissed at that. They found a way to manipulate libertarian-minded people to pretend to be centrist and non-biased. They're coming at it from both sides, even though you spend 6 days out of the week attacking one side and 1 day out of the week going like, Trump tweets a lot, boo-hoo. But after a while, probably after losing the 2020 election, by spending all year pretending that you had this one in the bag and you didn't really have to campaign at all, okay? After the 2020 election, it seems like they have started to adopt some of the strategies that the left was using during 2016. The control on the narrative through guilt, through making people feel too uncomfortable to insert themselves into the conversation in order to aid their opponents, okay? But here's the thing. Republicans can call somebody racist. Nobody's going to believe that shit. Nobody cares. Republicans can call somebody misogynistic. But y'all are the baby-trapping pro-lifer party. Nobody cares. They know that you're the misogynistic party. They didn't have any way to accuse the other side of actually hating another race of people, of actually hating the opposite sex, of discriminating based on sexual orientation. All they had was the illusion of Christian persecution, calling Democrats pedophiles, calling people that are LGBTQ friendly pedophiles, calling people, immediately turning gay people and lesbians and trans people into sex objects, and them existing around kids is to them inherently sexual. It's all ridiculous. It is all fucked in the head. But when it comes to this kind of accusation, people feel that they are playing around with legal shit now. Like, even if you're completely innocent of all of the shit that Republicans are accusing you of being, because that's how it tends to be with most people that are accused of being something bad by Republicans, it just doesn't seem worth it to some people that are not that politically engaged. Republicans are so fucking pathetic that they can't even reliably call another group of people racist. Nobody believes them. They're the kneel on the neck type of party. They cannot call other people sexist because despite the male suicide rate and divorce court incident, like in divorce court, in laws from divorce court that they can use to easily make that case, or at the very least, make it something that can stand on its own 2 feet. Nobody will believe that either, because this is the party that just lied months prior to overturning Roe v. Wade, saying that they would not do that because they knew that if they said they would, then there would be serious repercussions. So they lied because the only way to get in their way is to sneak in and deceive large groups of people, because that is the only way Republican ideologies can survive. When a group has only been trying to remove pornographic material and CRT from school for 1 year, just this past year, after all that has happened, you know damn well that they don't even believe the shit that they're saying. They don't believe any of the shit that's coming out of their mouth. They know that there is a type of hatred that they could take advantage of, because you don't even believe that it's hatred. You believe that at worst you're being a little defensive, and at best are protecting the rights of the children. And that's the thing about fascism, that thing that people don't want to look up the definition of, is not only does it rely on the myth of decadence and the lie of degeneracy, but it also is very worried about the safety of your children. Okay, people of an outgroup are coming to sexually assault your kids right now. Yeah, that's what that outgroup is. Then I have no proof that that's what this outgroup is going to do, but if I'm right, then you'll regret it. So just believe me with blind faith. So they're trying to do that same kind of guilt that they had imposed on them of agree with me or you're racist. But all that they can do, all that they have to make people feel uncomfortable, is by threatening their legal freedoms by saying that, or by accusing complete strangers of life-ruining crimes just because you're politically a little bit salty. It's so messed up, dude. The work of groups organizing and advocating to ban books in schools is especially harmful to students from historically marginalized backgrounds who are forced to experience stories that validate their lives vanishing from classrooms and library shelves. The Texas Tribune Festival is almost here, from Thursday through Saturday, September 27th. Oh, okay, blah, blah, yeah, whatever. Yes, I said most of what I had to say. Ugh. And this is a site with a bias for Greg Abbott. Huh. Well, that's neat.